Meanwhile, of course, Trump is trying to do the opposite of this. He's trying to save America from the tsunami of illegal immigrants. NBC News, if you can't trust NBC, who can you trust for fair reporting on Trump? Writes ICE made the most immigrant arrests in a single day in its history Tuesday, detaining more than 2,200 people. See if I can make that a little bigger there. According to a source familiar with the arrest and an ICE spokesperson who confirmed the numbers as the agency responds to pressure from the White House to rapidly increase arrests. I think Stephen Miller, White House aide, recently had a meeting with immigration authorities, and it was a come to Jesus moment. He urged them to get those numbers up to 3,000 a day as quickly as possible. Do what you need to do. Go where the illegal immigrants are. Go to Home Depot. Go to 7-Eleven. You'll find them. There's 100 million of them in the country. Even at 3,000 a day, of course, it would take 14 years or so to get rid of all of them, but you have to start somewhere. After Pearl Harbor, we weren't scoring a lot of quick victories against the Japanese. It took a while to get things up to speed. We're not going to recover in 4 months the invasion inflicted upon us over 4 years by President Joe Auto Pen Biden. Did you know that in all 50 states, self-defense law, not gun law, but self-defense law, uses a simple 5-element test to see if your use of defensive force was legally justified? And that same test applies no matter what state you're in or what tool you use to defend yourself. If you're missing even one of those required elements, however, you've made yourself an easy conviction for an aggressive prosecutor. My name is Attorney Andrew Branca, and I've worked more than 30 years as a self-defense attorney. Every state has seemingly endless, complex pages of laws regarding self-defense, so complex that many top criminal defense attorneys rely on my expert analysis to help win self-defense cases for their clients. If the legal code is that complex for lawyers, how can a citizen gun owner expect to know or even follow the law, especially when a life or death situation has triggered a massive adrenaline-fueled mandate to make that fight or flight decision right now? It seems daunting. Yet I created a simple but powerful framework that has allowed me to serve the legal community and countless American gun owners to simplify this legal complexity into just 5 elements of self-defense law. And you can learn my 5-element legal algorithm I use to consult on and win with the top criminal defense attorneys all over the country to protect law-abiding gun-owning citizens from making innocent legal missteps that land them in prison. Now, with a simple read or listen, you can install my 5-point legal framework so it acts as a sort of muscle memory defense to protect you from losing your rights when you choose to defend innocent human life. Click below to get the latest edition of my book, The Law of Self-Defense Principles, for free. I ask only that you help cover the shipping and handling cost to get the book to you. And as Trump is exercising his Article 2 executive branch authority to direct immigration personnel to deport people in this nation here unlawfully, as he's adhering to the law, the progressive woke DEI politicians, seeing their illegal criminal migrant constituents being thrown out of the country at thousands a day, they, of course, seek to lawlessly dox and expose the identities of these immigration authorities so they can be targeted for physical violence. After all, this is the political party that has twice attempted to assassinate Trump, that are the defenders of men like the Boulder firebombing terrorist. We'll come back to him in a moment. Today's show is largely focused on what's going on with him. And defenders of the most egregious, violent, illegal criminal migrants in the country, desperately fighting to compel Trump to bring them back to our national borders, because those violent, criminal, predatory, illegal migrants are the Democrats' core constituency. So they're trying to get the ICE officers killed. Here's a post on this. Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons calls out Democrats for inciting violence against his agents, specifically calling out House Majority Leader Hakeem Jeffries and Boston Mayor Michelle Wu in their efforts to dox federal agents involved in immigration enforcement. They're very upset that these ICE agents have started wearing masks when exercising their duties. Well, that's because the agents know these progressive activists will photograph their faces, do an image search on the internet, find out where they live, and then these agents and their families doing nothing but enforcing the laws passed by Congress and executed by the president will have themselves, their wives, their children's at risk of progressive terrorism. Here's a little video clip on this. Let me open it up a bit. This is talking about how the mayor of Nashville, Freddie O'Connell, of course a Democrat, literally doxed ICE agents. Let's see what he has to say. Of course, I forgot to put my earbuds in. Me being me. Let's take care of that. Here we go.
We've heard it. The individuals that the mayor is standing with are murderers, rapists, drug traffickers, sexual predators, child traffickers. The list goes on. Which is why I will always stand on the rule of law and with ICE. And I don't just stand with ICE, I'll stand in front of ICE because we, the people, have had enough. I choose my community, my state, and my family over this type of nonsense, which is why, due to the remarks of Freddie O'Connell and the potential for aiding and abetting illegal immigration, the Homeland Security and the Judiciary Committees will be conducting an investigation into the mayor of Nashville, his conduct, and whether or not federal dollars have been used in criminal enterprise. I will not back down. I will not relent, and I will always stand with law enforcement. I want my community and I want my country back. This is
So the question is, of course, are we really going to hold these people accountable? These politicians, these judges? I mean, what we're seeing now, and I'll cover more of this, is that these judges, as this post suggests, have now decided they are going to do everything in their power to get Trump to stop following their judicial orders. In other words, overreach so severely that Trump is obliged to adhere to his constitutional duty and begin to ignore these lawless orders. These judges are engaged in insurrection. As noted here, they've thrown out 250 years of case law out the window. These judges just lie and lie and lie. They claim jurisdiction they don't have. They cite to cases that are the opposite holdings of what they claim in the apparent belief that no one's going to bother looking, actually reading the cases they cite. We'll see that today in the case of the judge who ordered the Boulder terrorist family not deported. Homeland Security attacks and demonization of our brave law enforcement, sickening and demented. When our heroic law enforcement officers conduct operations, they clearly identify themselves as law enforcement while wearing masks to protect themselves from being targeted by known and suspected gang members, murderers, and rapists. ICE officers are now facing a 443 increase in assaults.
Every single ICE agent who's engaged in this aggressive overreach and are trying to hide their identities from the American people will be
It should be working now, right? Is it still right? It's back. Okay. Thanks.
unsuccessful in doing that. This is America. This is not the Soviet Union. We're not behind the Iron Curtain. This is not the 1930s. And every single one of them, no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes, will of course be identified.
So he's going to dox. He's going to dox these agents. There is a problem with that, of course, and that is that Doxing U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents or any federal law enforcement is a federal crime under 18 U.S.C. 119, which prohibits knowingly making restricted personnel information about federal agents public with the intent to threaten, intimidate, or incite violence. Clearly, Hakeem Jeffries is not purporting to dox these agents for their own good. Penalties can include up to 5 years in prison per count, and fines, 5 years federal prison time. Obviously, the very existence of this statute, which I actually have here, the very existence of this statute making it illegal to dox agents requires as a premise that agents are allowed to keep their identities secret for legitimate purposes while carrying out their duties. There's nothing unlawful about ICE wearing these masks. And of course, we have the other crazy politicians physically obstructing, another federal felony, ICE in the exercise of their law enforcement duties. Here's an example of that. Worcester, Massachusetts. City Councilor Etel Haxiaj. Massachusetts, the crib of American independence and liberty. Lexington, Concord. Worcester is a major city in Massachusetts, and it has a city councilor named Etel Haxiaj. Anybody want to wonder if this woman was born in America? She's been charged with assaulting a police officer and obstructing law enforcement during an ICE operation. I hope she's being charged in federal court because I can assure you a Massachusetts Worcester court will drop these charges. Let's see what she actually got up to.
Don't fucking touch me. Don't touch me. She hasn't done anything. Let her go. Please let her go. Let her go. She hasn't done anything. She's traumatized. She's my constituent. She's my constituent.
Well, you can go to
holding
the
her.
station when she gets her bail, okay?
She has done nothing. What are you doing? Why are you arresting her? Why are you arresting her?
Look at all the neuroticism, the hyper emotional state of this woman fighting, assaulting law enforcement in the exercise of their lawful duties. Of course, it's not the only one. We had this woman, the buffet queen in New Jersey, who led a violent protest at a detention center in New Jersey. She's now been federally charged by Alina Habba, the assistant U.S. attorney in New Jersey. So let's hope some of these people start getting held accountable, or we are accepting that we live in a state of lawless insurrection being driven by the progressive woke DEI who wish to replace American citizens with tens of millions of third world migrants. Thanks for watching this highlight segment of our full-length Law of Self-Defense live stream. If you enjoyed this content, make sure to give us a like and subscribe for more expert analysis on politics, law, and how to be hard to convict. And to watch the full-length episode of this show, just click right here. Stay safe.